Happy Glocktober, guys. What a better opportunity to go over my everyday carry firearm than Glocktober. Because it is a Glock 19 Gen 5 MOS. Absolutely love this gun. This gun is perfectly fit to my hand now. I had to do a couple of modifications because I have big hands, and a Glock 19 was just a touch too small for my hand. And now I never leave the house without this gun. It is an amazing gun. I shoot it really well. It conceals really well. And I am super excited to show this to you guys. So first thing we're going to go over is the Magwell. Okay, most of the time, if this gun fits your hand, you don't need a Magwell. You can easily reload just with training. The reason I bought this Magwell is because I do have big hands. And I didn't want my pinky to hang off the bottom of the gun if I got a bad master grip. So if I reached down for the gun and I didn't hit my master grip, my pinky tended to hang off the bottom. Now with this Magwell, that doesn't do that. I have a nice ledge for my pinky to grab onto, and it is on there really, really solid. And I like the way it feels with the Magwell on there. Okay, I can grab it, I can bring it from my holster, I can press out, and I absolutely love the way that feels. This Magwell is really nice. This is from Floyd's Custom Shop. The reason I got this Magwell out of all the other ones is that it accepts back straps. And if you have a really big hand, you're gonna love that it accepts back straps, because we big guys need that extra girth, if you will, on the back of the gun to match a good trigger pull. Because when we have no back strap on the back and we pull, our fingers tend to get cramped up because our hands are so big. With this back strap, you know, I got that nice even 90-degree trigger pull on the gun, which is very important to me. Going up the grip, another thing that I've always put on all my Glocks is Talon grip tape. This is the rubberized version. I love the rubber the best because I don't get abrasions on my stomach as I'm concealed carrying. It feels good to conceal carry. I use this exact grip tape on all my guns except for one. The PDP is the only gun I did not need to put grip tape on. The mag release. Now the mag release is, I believe it's from Tango Down. It's that rounded mag release, and anybody that has a Glock knows they have that flat mag release. Well, you have to kind of hit the front of it for it to engage. And I didn't like that because I actually had to adjust my grip to get to there. This one, I do not have to adjust my grip. I can reach it straight from the master grip, and I can release the mag, which is huge in my opinion. The trigger is a stock trigger. I have absolutely no reason to change that. I did try an Apex trigger in here. I actually have an Apex trigger downstairs in my Glock 45. I do like that trigger a lot. However, this Glock trigger is fantastic. There's no serrations on it whatsoever. It's nice and smooth. The trigger pull is amazing now because I have 3,500 rounds through this gun. Starting off out of the box, guys, the triggers are a little stiff. The trigger weight and the trigger pull is a little heavy to start out. But the more you shoot this gun, the more it smooths out. I would say stick with it. Stick with your Glock trigger. Glock triggers are great. They have a grit, they have a little bit of mush, they have a defined wall, and then you can push through that wall. Speaking of the wall, of a trigger pull, I did put a Ghose 3.5 pound connector in here. I do this with all my Glocks. Mainly because I don't like a very solid wall on my trigger pull. So if you didn't know what a wall was, you get rid of, there's some mushy part here and then it hits that solid part. That solid part is the wall. And I did not like a stiff wall to try to push through. Okay, I like more of a rolling break, a rolling wall, if you will. It gets to the wall, but then I can easily just roll right through the wall. And the reason I like that is because I could shoot faster with that kind of wall. And like this new CZ triggers, they all have that. Like that wall is very, very light. There's a defined wall, but to get through that wall, it's like very easy to pull through. That is the only internal modification I've done to this gun. I just have standard Glock iron sights on there, and the reason for that is because I have this red dot. This is the Trijicon RMR HD. Yes, it is kind of pricey of an optic, but the reason I wanted this optic in particular is because if you know RMRs, they have that little U shape on the top of the optic. And what I use that for is as an iron sight. Okay, so I put that U kind of in your clavicle. If I was aiming at somebody, I'd put it in their clavicle. That means when I'm hitting that U, the bullet is going to impact slightly lower center mass on a target. And I tried this on a paper target. Hopefully I can show you on some B-roll here. But from separate distances, I aimed at the clavicle and it was impacting center mass. 10 yards, 15 yards, and 20 yards. There really wasn't that much of a difference. It was still all hitting center mass, which is cool. So if I ever need an iron sight, I do not need to have iron sights that cloud up my window because I have one on top of the gun. And that is a huge pro, in my opinion, to this optic, is I have that opportunity, I have that built in to my red dot. Another thing about this optic is I have it on auto adjust and it is perfect. Okay, in the sunlight, it adjusts to the sunlight so I can see the dot. If I go over to the shadow, it adjusts down to a darker room to where I can see it. The sensor is always pointing out, so wherever you're pointing is how it is going to adjust. And I absolutely love this optic. Not to mention, this is like the most robust optic on the market. I've seen a couple of guys just beat the living hell out of this thing, and it still functions. I do use the C&H Precision Optics plates on all my guns as well. Check them out. I don't have discounts for any of them, I don't believe. But good company, good optic plate. Cannot go wrong with them either. Internally, I have same barrel that I originally came with, and I did change out the recoil spring for a little bit. I tried a tungsten one because everybody's saying, hey, a tungsten one's better than the original. I disagree. I really didn't see any bit of difference between a tungsten one and this one. The reason I got rid of the tungsten one is because I was shooting it and the front of the tungsten recoil spring was sticking out of the front of the gun. And I'm like, wow, that's not right. Something went on with manufacturing or something, I don't know. But that just lost all my trust I had in tungsten. I went back to the original spring, this one, the Glock one, the one that came with, and I've had no issues since. In terms of carry ammo, I am carrying the Hornady Critical Duty 135 grain ammo. This gun absolutely loves that kind of ammo. When you're trying to find ammo, you kind of got to test everything, different grains, different companies, because some guns like certain companies and then others do not. Like my Glock 45 does not like this kind of ammo, and this gun absolutely loves it. Okay, it just doesn't feed it reliably, and I don't know what is going on with the Glock 45, but it just prefers a different type of ammo than this. I think I'm running 124s in that gun, and I'm running 135s in this gun. It feeds reliably, and that's a very important thing. You need to test with your guns because you need to know that these carry ammo is going to feed through that gun every single time. Typical Glock 19 mag, but what I did is I put the Floyds custom shot base pad on there. It's a +2, so there's actually 17 rounds in here. And the reason I did that is so that I have an ability to strip the mag on the bottom. If I was to put a Glock 19 mag in here, you can run it but it is completely flush to the end of the magwell. And if it does not come out, there is absolutely no way to strip out that mag. And so it's important to have mags that you have that ability. My backup mag is actually a Glock 17 mag. So when I insert it, it does stick out a little bit. So if something was to go wrong with that mag, I have the ability to strip it out. But anyway, guys, I absolutely love this firearm. This firearm is perfectly made for my hand now with a couple of modifications. I love shooting this at the range. I shoot this at the range every single time. I train with it on a weekly basis. I carry it every single day, even though I'm a PE teacher. I have this Filster Enigma that I can wear with my running athletic type of clothes to where I can still carry a firearm even with athletic shorts on. I do have an Axis Elite holster with an extra mag in it for when I'm wearing clothes with a belt on. But fantastic firearm, guys. Yes, Glocks are incredibly boring, but they're also incredibly reliable, and they shoot really well when you get to know your firearm. But you have to train with it, and you have to fire it quite often. All right, don't fire it once and then come back 6 months later and wonder why you can't shoot that gun. All right, but I hope you guys got something out of this video. If you have anything down in the comments, any questions, any comments, what are you carrying? I would love to see it down there. I try to answer all the comments I can, especially being a smaller YouTube channel like I am now. But anyway, guys, have a great day. I love you guys. God bless you all.